So I've been getting some comments saying that they want tips for making a creepypasta. Luckily, I make creepypastas, so I'm able to provide an answer. Also, as of recording this, I did something to my arm, and I have not really a cast, but more of like a leather glove on my arm. I hope I get better soon, because if I don't, I won't be able to play games again. Although the doctor said it'd heal in a week, so yeah, I'm taking his word on it. He's a doctor and I'm not. But aside from that, here are some tips for making a creepypasta of your own. So, first of all, it really depends on what you're using to make your creepypasta. Personally, I recommend iMovie, that's what I use. And I'm fairly sure it's free, and I think it may come with your Apple device. But if you don't have an Apple device, you might want to look up and see if there's anything like iMovie that's on the computer. I know my friend the Lolosaurus uses computer to make his, so if you have any questions, go ask him. But now that we're past all the programs and computers, why don't we start on the actual creepypasta? So, I know that one of the trickiest parts of making any kind of story, not just a creepypasta, is where to start. And the way to get an opening line is thinking about who your storyteller, your main character, is. Like, say, with my friend creepypasta that I made recently. I said in the opening line that he was a shy person, and that's where the theme of friends came from. And with my Season 0 creepypasta, the one that blew up, I said that he was a fan of Battle Royale games, and that's why he got Fortnite when it was in early access. So, your story itself and your opening line should be kind of built around and themed about who your character is. If you're doing your creepypasta from the viewpoint of the monster or the killer, try and make it like creepy or cryptic. Unless your kind of monster is like rip, tear, kill, then try and make like a backstory for him. But if your character is a normal person, try and give him or her a personality and try and build your story around that. I personally don't use a script, but you can. My friend the Lolosaurus does. But don't be afraid to kind of veer away from the original script. A lot of my creepypastas have sort of gone away from the original idea I had in my head, and they've turned out fine. Although some would argue, haters, that they haven't, but I know they have. Speaking of haters will come in. It happened to me when I first started out. When my Season 0 blew up, there were a lot of you guys that liked it and subscribed and watched it and left good comments. But then there were also these, like, 20-year-olds with gaming channels that only have, like, 20 subscribers. And they're saying they're better than me and stuff. Just don't listen to them. Not really the best way to describe the haters, but just know they will come, and often in large numbers, but don't give up. If you just ignore them, you can even block them. Just don't listen to them, and eventually they'll stop. They've stopped for me right now, and they will stop for you. Now, I know I went on a little bit of a tangent there, but why don't we get back to the creepypasta? Alright, so by far, the biggest thing that can break a creepypasta is a cliche. A cliche is something that's done to death over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like lost episodes or haunted games They're done so much you can see the twist coming. And usually, a lot of cliches include gore equals horror, which is not the truth. You can have a perfectly terrifying creepypasta without having to spill one drop of blood. A good example of a cliche in a creepypasta is the end of Flip with Script's creepypasta, The Dark Map. Now, it's an alright creepypasta. If he had just changed the end up a little bit, so it wasn't so cliche, it would have been way better. I'll give you a look at the recording, and be sure to check him out after this video. He makes good creepypastas. I got inspiration from him to start doing it.
He wasn't the same person showing me the map. He was someone else in a skin I didn't recognize. He had horns, he was red, and he had these demon eyes. He looked like the devil. He chased me almost as if he was the guardian of this twisted place. He catches me and screams at me saying he's the boogeyman. And he tells me he'll see me in my dreams tonight.
And I have seen other creepypastas of his, and they are better. So go check him out after this video. Now, I don't blame him for this. My Season 0 creepypasta I actually feel was a bit cliche and unfinished. And he may have had to go do something, or he may have ran out of ideas mid-recording. Another way to get better at creepypastas is to experiment. Now, your first few might not turn out that well. They might be a bit cliched and a bit unfinished like with Season 0. But if you keep going, you'll eventually make good creepypastas. And this has been the cruel fate of a lot of YouTubers, including myself at one point. It's a lack of motivation. What I mean by that is how you know you have to go and make a video. Your fans have been waiting on you for weeks, but you just don't feel like it. It might not, hopefully, but it most certainly will happen to you. And speaking of which, Season 0, Episode 3 is well on its way, don't you worry. A good amount of you have voted in the poll, and if you haven't, do that now. And it's a unanimous 100% of you that have voted for Epic Games Employee, so be sure to expect that soon. Anyway, back to the topic for your creepypasta. So, overall, the kind of thing you're trying to go for is an experience that your viewers can take something out of. Not just 10 minutes of kill, blood, die. And I hope this video has taught you something about what to do in a creepypasta and what to avoid for one. Anyway, I will see you next time. Goodbye.